If you're failing in life, forget motivational quotes, forget rich gurus, forget people who were born lucky. Instead, learn from Saul Goodman. Because Saul didn't start as a winner. He started as Jimmy McGill, broke, ignored, underestimated, doing everything the right way and still getting nothing in return. He studied law while working in a mailroom, tried to impress his brother, tried to be honest, tried to play fair, and life basically told him that wasn't enough. No respect, no opportunities, no second chances, just doors closing over and over again. And that's when Jimmy learned a truth that hurts too much for most people to accept. The world doesn't reward effort. It rewards leverage, perception, and results. And when the system keeps rejecting you, you don't suddenly become evil. You become adaptive. You become flexible. You become someone who stops asking for permission. Saul Goodman isn't a scammer because he loves lying. He's a scammer because honesty never protected him. Every scheme Saul pulls is really a survival response wrapped in confidence. Because when you grow up being ignored, you realize something terrifying. Being good is invisible. Being loud is memorable. Being honest is replaceable. Being useful is powerful. Saul understands that people don't actually want the truth. They want relief. They want certainty. They want someone to tell them it's going to be okay even when it's not. That's why Saul doesn't sell legal knowledge. He sells emotional comfort. He sells hope in a hopeless moment. He dresses loud so you can't ignore him. He talks fast so doubt doesn't have time to catch up. He creates a character because characters survive longer than honest men. And here's the uncomfortable part. It works. Not because the world is broken, but because the world runs on perception. Saul wins because he understands people better than they understand themselves. He knows fear makes people stupid, stress makes people desperate, and desperation makes people loyal. So he positions himself as the solution, not the smartest, not the best, just the most confident. And confidence is currency, especially when people feel lost. And this is where most people misunderstand Saul. They think his power comes from breaking rules, but his real power comes from reading the room, from knowing when to smile, when to lie, when to push, and when to disappear. Saul adapts faster than life can punish him. When Jimmy fails, he doesn't cry about fairness, he creates Saul. When Saul starts collapsing, he doesn't freeze. He rebrands. New name, new voice, new identity. Because Saul understands something most people never do. Identity is flexible. And if you refuse to change, life will change you violently. Most people fail and stop. Saul fails and mutates. And if you're failing in life right now, maybe it's not because you're lazy. Maybe it's because you're loyal to a version of yourself that the world already rejected. Saul teaches us that society rewards those who understand the game, not those who complain about it. But here's where the story turns dark. Because every mask you wear for survival eventually sticks to your face. Every shortcut you take trains your soul to avoid the hard road. Saul wins cases, wins money, wins influence, but slowly loses Jimmy, loses meaning, loses the quiet voice that once wanted respect instead of control. And that's the real cost. Because if you build your entire life on manipulation, eventually you can't turn it off. You start seeing people as tools, moments as opportunities, relationships as transactions. And Saul becomes successful but hollow, loud but empty, alive but disconnected. And that's the warning hidden inside his story. The lesson isn't go scam people. The lesson isn't break the law. The lesson is understand why Saul survived when others didn't. He used creativity instead of waiting, confidence instead of permission, reinvention instead of victimhood. But he also shows us what happens when survival becomes your entire personality. So if you're failing in life, don't copy Saul Goodman's crimes. Copy his courage to adapt, his ability to read reality without sugarcoating it, and his willingness to rebuild himself when the old version stops working. But don't lose yourself in the process, because success without identity is just another kind of failure. And Saul Goodman isn't a hero or a villain. He's a mirror, showing you exactly what happens when the world pushes someone too hard for too long. So the real question isn't whether Saul was right or wrong. The real question is when life keeps closing doors on you, who are you willing to become to survive? And more importantly, Who are you willing to lose?